Hi, I'm broadcasting to you live right now. Now, I thought recording a video because I want to share with you a short story. And this happened because it just prompted me. And what do I mean by that? You see, I was going through Facebook as usual, and I saw a friend of mine who shared a picture of himself when he was young, right? And when I saw the picture, of course I remember him because he's my friend. Although he looks a little bit not the same, right? I mean, he's now all grown up and so on. But I remember him clearly because he was my buddy, the same buddy that we used to talk about our dreams and our hopes that one day when we grow up and we go into the adventurous working world as adults, you know, what we want to do and so on. Speaking of our hopes, our dreams and so on. And when I see his picture, it always reminds me of a memory that I have that I always remember is that there's one time that we were looking at a magazine together. I mean, we are young kids at that time, and we were seeing that magazine. If I'm not mistaken, it's FHM for men, and we're going through the magazine and we were gazing at an ad of a sports car. It's not this extremely amazing sports car as like out of the world rich kind of sports car. It's just an average sports car, and we look at that and just wow, you know, wow. I mean, that is the car, you know. And I remember him saying this to me. He says that I'm gonna drive that. When he said that to me at that time, many years ago when we were kids, right? I truly believe that he meant it. Well, because he is driven, that I know he will achieve that. And you know, as time goes by, we grow up, obviously, and life takes us to its own path. So he has his path, I have my own path, and so on. And of course, the only reason that I thought of him is because I saw him posting a picture when he was young, when he was a kid, when we were kids, and that brought me up to share today, because what I know is from his Facebook profile and what I kind of heard about, he didn't become a wildlife explorer like how he envisioned himself to be. He drove a normal car right now, and there's nothing wrong with a normal car, don't get me wrong, but he didn't drive the car that he wanted to drive that time. Now, I know sports car and wildlife, got something in our nose. This is a candid video. Wildlife explorer, you know, the kind of person who go to safari, to go to the jungles and explore new things, heal the animals when they're hurt, go and explore insects, you know. It's not really alike with a sports car, right? I mean, it doesn't seem to gel at all. But you know, that's just his dream when I was a kid, so we'll stick to that because he can dream whatever he wants. I do not know how the sports car and wildlife explorer actually gels together, but that's what he wanted it to be. But he's not a wildlife explorer. He is an accountant. And there's nothing wrong with being an accountant, don't get me wrong. You know, I am very blessed that I have my accountant to help me with all the numbers and so on. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being an accountant. There's nothing wrong of driving a normal car. And the thing is that, right, what happened to his ambition? What happened to his drive? He, as far as I know, I don't think he's anything close to the wildlife life that he wanted to be. I think the closest that he gets to is probably visiting zoos, and probably not any significant zoos like in Africa or the very big commercial zoo like the one in San Diego where the movie Madagascar was referring to. Nothing close to that, right? And what really happened is that his dreams were stolen. It was stolen from him. In fact, he was, to quote it in a very extreme way, the way how I look at it, he was robbed in broad daylight in that sense. Someone actually stole his dream. And now he is what he is right now, without having the dreams that he have envisioned to be at all. Someone has stole your dream. Now, I want to ask you a question that may be a little bit sensitive, but please understand that the intention is not to be insensitive, but the intention is to let you see things in a different way, and let you see what has actually happened and who actually stole your dreams away. What is the car that you're driving today right now? Was that the car that you have dreamt of when you was a kid? Is it anything close, resemble that? And if you're not driving that, that's okay, but have you experienced anything close to what you have dreamt or what you dreamed of when you was a kid, the car that you want? And are you achieving the ambition that you wanted to be? I do not know what you want to be. I'm referring to jobs or become an entrepreneur, or are you in a cubicle today? Again, don't get me wrong when I use the word cubicle, but that is just the norm for the past decades. That's how everyone was been structured. It's always been a cubicle business. But you know what? Today, in today's time, in the millennials time right now, it's not baby boomers, it's not Gen Y, it's not Gen X, it's the millennials time right now. They don't work in cubicles like how we were exposed to, right? I mean, I'm not in the millennials time zone in that sense. So who actually stole your dream? Have you asked yourself the question, who actually stole your dream away? And how did they manage to steal that in the broad daylight and they can just take that away? I can tell you there are two people who actually stole your dream. The first one who stole your dream are those who do not have your capability, or those who are just way too lazy to fight for their own dreams. Those are the people who actually stole your dream away just like that. You see, they don't have your capability. They don't have the talent that you have. They don't have your knowledge. They don't have your drive. They don't have what you have. So they are the one who take it away because they need companion. And unfortunately, somewhere along the line, as you are growing up, you became their victims. Or some of those are just way too lazy because they understand that if you want to get your dream, you have to sacrifice. You need to pour in the work. I mean, just think that if you don't want to put in any work, it's just like a farmer thinking that, hey, I want to have all these fruits and vegetables and all this good stuff without me even doing anything. Like, I just need to look at my soil, my plantation or whatever you call it, and boom, the crops will just grow on its own. That is the kind of mentality, right? So they know that it's not going to happen. They need to plant the seeds and do the farming and so on. And many of them are just not ready. So they need companion as well. And somehow you were picked to be their companion. And when it first started, you don't buy into their dreams because you have your own dreams, right? They somehow sell you their dreams. And you say, no, I'm not into that deal. I'm going to be a wildlife explorer. I'm going to drive the car that I want. I'm not going to do what you're going to be doing, right? Now, but as time goes by, right, it seems that there's so many of them selling you the same dreams. And as if that this dream that they're selling to you is the ideal one, because apparently everybody is saying this is the one. This is the one that you need to have. And at first, you fight. You resist that. You continue to resist. But eventually, probably it could be due to lack of willpower. Because after all, you're only human, right? That's why there's only a few people who can resist that. Lack of willpower, and you give in. After all, fighting is futile when you're doing it alone against everyone else who say that, hey, you know what? Forget about that. So this is the first group of people who actually stole your dream away without you realizing. And then you start to see that is the right thing to do, and then you end up with a job that you don't even expect you to be doing the job. You end up driving a car that you didn't expect to drive that car, and so on. Now, who is the second people who actually stole away your dream? Who would that be? Well, the other person who stole your dream is the one who needs you to work for them in order for them to fulfill their dream. Now, let's think again. It's kind of ironic. You need to try to ponder upon that. Now, there's another group of people who are the elite people who figure this out. They know what they want. They have their dreams. And they kind of figure out, in order for us to get our dreams, somebody got to do the work, right? So these are the ones who stole your dream. Because if nobody is working for them, how are they going to achieve their dreams? You see, they figure this out. Whereas you may not get it yet. Well, they get it first. So here's what happened. They manipulated you step by step without you even realizing what actually happens. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by step by step without you realizing? So, for instance, you wanted to further your studies, right? When you're a kid. And this is probably the sentence that sounds like, hey kid, don't study wildlife stuff. There's not much job you can do when you graduate. Study accountancy, because there are a lot of corporations that will hire you so that you are secure, right? And at that moment of time, somehow, because driven by fear, driven by environment, driven by all kind of stuff, you kind of change your course of life. You know, forget about wildlife exploring for the time being, and let's just do accountancy. Again, there's nothing wrong with accountancy. Don't get me wrong about that, right? But you go on a totally different path that's not even part of your plan. And you continue, and you continue, and you continue. And then, weird enough that 10 years has just passed. In the blink of an eye, 10 years has just passed, and you don't even understand what happened. You don't even understand. How did this 10 years just gone? You don't, because you have been manipulated step by step without you realizing anything. And to a degree, you can't even comprehend what is actually going on. Who actually stole your dream? You can't even comprehend that. And if you look back again, you may think that, but you know, it may not be realistic for me to be a wildlife explorer. I mean, you know, I need to have a good job. I need to do something that the norm are doing, right? True enough. Well, but here's the thing, right? But the passion of doing something, exploring into wildlife and so on, now that is a passion that you can still pursue if you are not somehow trapped in a cubicle where you don't have much control of your working hours, working time, and so on. So the circle just continues, because at the end of the day, you go back, the next day you do the same thing over and over again every single week, and the process just continues. So even though if you cannot be a wildlife explorer, like my friend, that's okay if you can still pursue that passion. But now, the passion doesn't even exist. Now here's the thing, the passion has been buried so deep inside that you don't even dare to dream again. You don't even dare to dream about stepping out and doing something amazing for your own life. Or you do that. So my end here is that seize the opportunity, claim back your passion in 2017. And I look forward to share of your success story one day, and who knows, maybe one day we may even meet in real life. Thank you.